Brought to you by the Heat Ratio Sports Network. This show brings the temperature of sports to a whole new level. Whether it's a local opinion or a national agenda, everything is fair game. Remember, everyone has an opinion, but only few can back it up. Now sit back, crank up the volume, and if you think you can handle it, get ready for the heat.
Welcome, everybody. There you go, man. Already. There you go. Already with the sound, Al. Already. Oh, you're killing me. Welcome in, everybody. Heat Ratio Sports, Heat Ratio Live. I'm your host, Tony Cutillo. Joined tonight. We're going 2 boxes tonight. Me and my man, Al Griffin, at the 2 Minute Warning. Make sure you're checking them out at the 2 Minute Warning. Very opinionated fellow like myself, which is always good. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Obviously, we got the big Bryce Harper news, which is unfortunate, right? We got all that down. We will talk about some NBA. We'll talk about the Sixers a little bit, what's going on with them. And Al's got some ideas on the 2 Minute Warning with that. Unfortunately, Dan Green can't be with us tonight. He has some issues going on right now, but he will be back next week. And then I'm going to talk a little. What I'm going to do is every week, my final judgment is normally going to be about wrestling because I am a huge wrestling fan. I decide that the final judgment is going to be for wrestling here on a Heat Ratio Sports. And we're going to talk a little Ric Flair tonight. We're going to talk about Ric Flair, right? We got to talk about Ric Flair. We got to talk about him, man. Styling, profiling. But hey, Al, let's get into this, man. Like, as always, and make sure you follow us on all Heat Ratio Sports on all social formats. Make sure you check it out. My other venture, Window Sports, I'm on there every other day. We're doing a 5 and 5 on the weekends, and make sure you're checking out Sirius Satellite Radio every Sunday 9 to 11 for the fantasy talk and sports betting. But Al, shot heard around the world. Unfortunately, the thumb of Bryce Harper is probably the most important topic in Philadelphia sports right now. I don't want to rehash it. We're not bringing up the video. It sucks. It is what it is. I get it. But again, let me just say this. My take on this is the Phillies are a resilient team. Atlanta won without Acuna last year. Listen, I challenge anybody to name me, right? 5 guys from the Atlanta Braves last year. Okay, give me 5. Okay, and again, they had a very, very interesting and intriguing midway trade deadline piece in Jock Peterson, who came in and actually just picked up the slack. You never would have thought it, but he did, right? We have guys on this team in Kyle Schwarber. Listen, Nick Castellanos, he is going to be okay. I'm telling you, he will be okay. Okay, it's going to take time. And I will say this, Al, before I want to get your view on this, but I was listening to Hunter Brody the other night, and he had a really, really good take on this that I didn't even think about. So I got to give credit where credit's due when people talk about this. But he said the one silver lining with this Bryce Harper injury. Listen, it sucks, right?
It's a silver lining.
We got to have a silver lining. We have to, right? We have to. And the one thing is, remember, Nick Castellanos came into this team from this contract to be a DH, not to be a right fielder. Okay. So the injury forced Bryce Harper to lock into that role. So now you have the ability for other players to actually get some time at the DH spot. Maybe JT Realmuto gets some more rest now, so they can play, and he can play DH, but he doesn't have to be behind a backstop, and you could put Stubbs there. You couldn't do any of these moves with Bryce. Now, obviously, I would absolutely want Bryce, right? We all know that, but we have to think of a positive. So, Al, just an easy question, man. The easy question. Absolutely, can they? Now, our man Trevor checking in saying, put a fork in them, fighting season's over. Let's get back.
No.
Stop it. They're not done. They're resilient. Al, do you still have faith that this team can make the playoffs like Larry Bell said?
Yes, absolutely. We just have to, first of all, relax. Everybody has to relax. I know the Philly thing is gloom and doom. It's over. Just cancel the season. Let's bring up the guys from the minor leagues and don't play anybody. Tell Bryce to have the other surgery too. Just it's over. No, relax, everybody. We have the horses to be able to withstand this. That's why we have the big boppers that we brought in, the $100 million players that we have, plus the $100 million players that was already on the team. We'll be fine. It's can we get the timely hittings? It's not can we hit, it's can we get the timely hittings that Bryce was getting at those particular times, So I think we'll be fine. Castellanos, you know what? Until you said that, when you said what Honey Brody said, I was like, what? What do you mean silver lining? But as you explained it, it made more sense. It does make sense. Those players, now you can have what do you call it? What's the kid name that the catcher?
Mr. Stubbs.
Yeah. No, yeah, you can have him. And JT can do DH now. You can mix and match those. People can get rest, and they're not really getting rest. I heard somebody on the radio yesterday, I think, or today, saying you could get like a half a day off because you're just DHing and you're not playing the field. It's kind of a day off because you're not out in the field roasting all game if you're out in the outfield. So it's I think it's going to be fine. I'm not really worried right now. I'm watching the game now. We have blown a lot of opportunities. We had probably 6 to 7 men on base already, and we haven't took advantage of it. So those things I worry about, but not the production. I think we'll be fine. I think everybody has to relax. I know that's hard for Philly, but we just have to relax.
It's hard for me. Adam checking in. What's up, Adam? My man Jose checking in. What's up, Jose? What's good, buddy? Trevor checking in. Trevor's playing like the Howard Eskin role tonight for some reason. God. I don't know what's going on. The defense for the Philly is so bad. It's early 2000. Bro,
that hasn't been our worst thing right now. That hasn't been one of the things that have been absolutely killing us. No, it hasn't. When we lost, it hasn't been we lost because of a defensive play, and it's been pitching let us down a couple of times. Oh my God! I tweeted about this the other night. How many times have we had the bases loaded and got nothing out of it? That can't happen,
hitting, man. Situational hitting is tough.
Yeah, that can't happen. That don't have anything to do with defense. So it's been those type of things.
No way. When can we get back to being tough? Listen, I guess that's Nick saying because we can't relax, and we can't relax. Listen, I completely agree. I don't. Everybody knows Jigsaw can't relax. That's not what I do, right? That's not what I do. And I honestly, man, listen, we've been through so much in this city, and I feel bad for Bryce. I do, and hats off to Bryce for just being the consummate professional like he was brought up to be. That's good parenting right there. I'll tell you that 100%. When you see a guy the way, he wanted to cry at that post game, and not because he's just right. He's so passionate, man.
How many superstars get hurt and said he feels bad for us? He said he felt bad for us that he's out right now. I have never heard a superstar ever in any sport say he felt bad for the fans that he can't play. How much more can you love the guy for saying something like that?
Yeah, you gotta love him, man. Honestly,
love that guy, man.
You gotta love him. He is 100%. He's already put his number in the Wall of Fame out there. Assist bank par. We already knew that. Listen, we knew what kind of player he was getting. I say this all the time. That was the biggest reason why I wanted him and not Manny Machado. No disrespect to Manny, but Manny's not a Philly guy. Manny is exactly where he needs to be in sunny California. That's where Manny needs to be. Right, exactly. That's where Manny got to be. Bryce is listen, I'm going to go on a stretch here. Bryce Harper is obviously much better, but he's Jim Thome. in a sense that he is that. When Jim Thome came in, and what's the first thing Jim Thome did? He went and met with the union workers, met with the electricians, the hard collar, the blue collar guys, the hard nosed worker. That's what Jim Thome did, and that's who he appealed to, and that's who Bryce Harper appeals to, and that's why he is Philly, and we love him. So get well, Bryce.
Could he be the best free agent to sign here in any sport? Any sport, hockey, basketball,
as a free agent,
football.
You know, I would say he has to be. Now, height wise, I think even height wise, yeah. I mean, we had some really good trades.
MVP already, and by the way, he was going to win. He was on his way to winning another one if it wasn't for the guy out in New York. Unfortunately, the guy out in New York is on a tear. He is.
Trevor says Jeremy Roenick was pretty dang good. Some Roenick was good. Lindros was good, man. He wasn't, but it wasn't.
Lindros was right.
Lindros was a trade. That's the thing. T.O. was a trade. Right. So yeah, free agent signing. Yeah, Roenick was good. Roenick was really good, but I don't think anybody symbolizes what Bryce Harper does, especially when you talk about 13-year contract. And let's not forget his agent. Okay, that everybody hates, right? Everybody hates bars, but again. We were able to sit there and completely be professional, which I'm shocked because we had Matt Klentak at the time, and listen, he's a tool.
You know what though? I think Bryce overcame him. You understand what I'm saying? Like Bryce said, "All right, shut up. I want to go there, figure it out." That type of thing. You know, where normally Boris would do.
I completely agree with that. 100%.
I want to go to Philly. Make it work.
Yes. And I think that exactly what you just said is exactly what happened. That's where I want to be. Make it work. Right. And he probably was telling Bryce, yo, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. Right. Bryce was like, I don't care. Make it work. Right. That's what he was saying, man. Trevor says, someone get out some rock hard internet. That's not Comcast. Yo, listen, man.
It is Comcast.
That's why you're freezing. Just throwing it out there. You don't freeze on Fios, man. But anyway, yeah, listen, I still think they can absolutely overcome this. It looks like he's going to get surgery. Actually, he is going to get surgery. They say the hard timeline, 6 to 8 weeks. He wants to be back by the end of August. If I know Bryce, now again, this is a guy who's never broken a bone in his body, right? Yeah. So he doesn't know how he's going to heal. Right. And the thumb is different, man. You got to grip a bat. There's so many different things you have to do with that thumb. So it should be interesting. But if there's a will, there's a way. And thank God we have another wild card spot now. And thank God. Hey, how about this real fast? Let's talk about this, Al, before we get off the Phillies and talk a little 2-minute warning here. But thank God for the universal DH. Is anybody even bringing that up? Yeah. What would happen right now?
We would have a serious problem.
We would have had a serious problem. I mean, if there was no universal DH, Bryce Harper doesn't play.
No.
I love the universal DH, Trev. You're right. I love it. But he doesn't play. Yeah. Right. This is completely going against everything that they've done this year. He probably gets surgery.
And the season would be over. Yes. When he first got hurt, the season would have been over right then and there. Right then and there, the season would have been over.
Yeah. So thankfully,
what is he hitting? Something crazy like 320 right now? Like
323. 320. Shout out to Bryce, man. Bryce will be back. We'll be good.
I would put strong odds that he comes back before he really supposed to. I think they're going to tell him they want him to stay out. He's going to say, hell with that. I want to come back now. And it's going to be earlier than everybody assumes that he's going to come back. He's that type of player.
Trevor says, what's MLB future you like right now? And Trevor, I'll get to you. Pull them up for me, man. Let me know what those numbers are, because I can tell you that there's a couple teams I got my eye on, but let me know, because I don't want to flip. I'm going to get to another topic, but bring that up, man. Give me some odds. Let's talk some odds, because right now, I'll tell you what, there's some teams that look pretty good, man. And, the National League, obviously, the Dodgers haven't even hit their stride. Okay. So they haven't even hit their stride. I think we all know that. And what about, I keep hearing all the Trey Turner talk now, all of a sudden. The Trey Turner talk, it's coming to fruition. So, listen, National League East, the Phillies are plus 1,400. So, and talk about that. But I'll tell you what, I like these Cardinals, man. I like the Cardinals at plus 140 to win the Central. I know Milwaukee has a team. They've been very inconsistent, but St. Louis just continues to get done. They have a ton of young talent out there with O'Neal, with Foreman, with Donovan. They still got Wainwright pitching out of his mind at 40 plus years old. The St. Louis Cardinals are a team, right, that just consistently stays good. And they draft right. They sign their guys the right way. I mean, I remember when everybody talked about signing Arenado, nobody thought he was going to sign St. Louis. And then they trade for Goldschmidt. Looks like a gold mine. Today you got Goldschmidt. You got Arenado. You got all those young guys I just talked about. You still got Wainwright being that anchor. I know I don't buy him. Flaherty needs to stay healthy. There are a lot of people who need to stay healthy. Trev, it's freaking June. Okay, I mean, listen. Yeah, I just said I get it. Nobody thought he was going to get traded to Nolan Arenado. Trev, do me a favor, man. What is this? You want to be the next Eskin or what here, bro? You're killing me. But man, but in all seriousness, I do like the Cardinals at plus 140. Let's see what happens. But enough with the Phillies talk because it's a little somber point, and they won the other night. We'll see what happens tonight, but I really, really think that they're going to be good. Now let's flip the switch a little bit. And before we get to the 2-minute warning and final judgment, I want to talk some Eagles. And I want to talk some Eagles because the Eagles right now have quietly been selected as a powerhouse in the NFC. And I want to know where they rank on your power list. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because on Sirius on Sunday night, we had a couple beat writers on. And one of them was Battaglia, who covers Gene Battaglia, who covers the Bills. And we brought up a Peter King story where he ranked 4 teams in the NL power ranking. Number 1 was the Rams. Number 2 was Green Bay. Number 3 was Tampa Bay. Number 4 was the Eagles. Now, before you say anything out, when I looked at that list, number 1, the only first thing that spotted out to me was why is Green Bay number 2? For me, they're not number 2.
Thank you.
Right? That's the first thing. And then I was like, wow, Eagles at 4. But then it's funny. We start debating this on the radio. And the more we talked about it, I was like, you know what? The Eagles, guess what? They might be a perennial powerhouse because they could be the cleanest team in the NL. Now, in the NFC. Now, understand what I mean by clean. What I mean is no question marks, right? Now, obviously, you're going to say, what are the question marks that the Rams have? No, the question marks, the Rams don't have
just
question
one.
Marks. Well, yeah, repeat, right? I mean, honestly, to me, right, the biggest question mark is can they repeat, right? But, they've gotten stronger, in my opinion. Now you're bringing A-Rob, you're bringing Al Robinson, right? So, I mean, you have to look at, the way this is structured. And I look at the Eagles and say, damn, who am I worried about? Detroit? Chicago? Seattle? Right? Right? I mean, look at the team. I'm not so the Eagles are in a pretty good spot, Al. They can listen, if they can click, and again, I keep receipts. So all you Jalen Hurt fans right now that are fans that were buried on last year, okay, for 2 years, I've been saying all in on Jalen. I've been on the Jalen Hurts bandwagon. But for all you people, you knew who you are. I'm not going to call you out, but I do keep receipts. All you people
call them out.
Nah, I'm not. I'm too nice of a guy now. I got older, so I've changed a little bit. But they know what they do. Now, all of a sudden, they want to get their Twitter numbers up. They want to get their podcast numbers up. So now we'll start talking good about Jalen Hurts. And it's the same cats all the time. That's all I'm going to say. It's the same cats all the time. That's why they block me on Twitter. But that's cool. That's all right. I can deal with that. I can deal with that. But you can't go back. Listen, if you're going to kill Jalen Hurts, keep killing him. Keep killing him. And that's
absolutely.
Then
Stay
flip your hat.
consistent.
Right, and then say I was wrong. Don't be breaking down game film and all of a sudden say, "Oh, I love you, Jalen. You're the best." And last year, this guy stinks. He can't throw and hit receiver.
Yeah.
So Al, the Eagles. Number one, what do you think about that power list? And number two, are you surprised? Or are you comfortable with them as number 4?
First of all, Green Bay. How do you?
I don't get it.
I know Aaron Rodgers. Stop. He's still that man until you get to the NFC Championship. Then you got a problem, but he's that guy. So I get that, but that's a lot of pulling he's going to have to do for this year. I mean, he's talk about putting the team on his back. I mean, you don't even have enough weapons for him. I mean, imagine you dropping a ball. He's going to want to rip your face off if you drop a pass. Like, Tom Brady is one thing. Aaron Rodgers will rip your face off on the field if you drop a pass. So he's got nothing but rookies and old heads out there. He's got, oh, goodness, can't remember the guy's name that played with the Ravens last year. But he's always hurt. He's always hurt. He signed there, but they don't have anything. I don't get that. As far as the Eagles, and you still got Randall Cobb.
Yeah, you got Lazard, you got Cobb, you got Tanya coming back, but nobody that really blows me away.
And then the tight end is coming off of ACL.
Right, Tanya's coming off of ACL.
Yeah.
So it's a tough one, man.
I'm trying to think. I wouldn't say. I don't know if I could say 4 yet. But I would definitely say 4 to 6. I just don't know who else be in there because I only got one concern in my mind, and that's if the quarterback can do what he needs to do. Because if he gets to the right people, everything else is going to take care of itself in my mind. The offensive line is going to do what they do. We got great wide receivers. Nobody talks about it, but we have a top 5 tight end. Nobody talks about our top 5 tight end. He's a top 5 tight end in the NFL, folks, and he's going to get even more opportunities because of the wide receivers that we have now. All right, so now let's go to the corners. We was worried about the corners the whole offseason until we got a nice pickup on the other side, or Slay. All right, we got linebackers galore of who's going to be on the outs. I was just thinking about that. Now, everybody can't play. We got pretty good linebackers now. Everybody can't play, so we got to figure out that. And we picked up a nice safety. He isn't like a blockbuster. He isn't, what I really wanted, but he'll work. We have got pretty good safety. So everything is filled. Everything is filled. We fill up every spot. Howie did a fantastic job. I know you're in sometimes out with Howie, but he did a fantastic job. And might I add really quickly that at the Steam Pub one winter night or maybe early spring, I said, let Howie do his thing and he will make it happen. I said, just relax, and look what he has done in the next 2 months. Drafting-wise, free agency. I think you should play. I want that tape to be played, Tony. You got to play that back when I told everybody to relax. How we will fill the holes.
Let's not start doing what yet. Okay, I'm just throwing it out there. But I've given him some credit. He has definitely been a revelation. Let's
just say on paper, right? at least on paper.
Well, not just that. I mean, listen, he is a master of the cap. Everybody thought that we were going to be unbelievably dead in the water when we traded away Carson Wentz and had all that dead money, and we just came back and we still have $13+ million right now in cap room. So
I don't know how. Can you tell me how? I read that the other day. I was like, huh? How?
Man, I'll tell you what, man. We've been very lucky for the Eagles with guys like Joe Banner, whether you like them or not, and guys like Howie Roseman who are really able to dissect that salary cap to the point that other owners and other GMs That's why they're plucking guys off the Eagles, not because they can scout players, not because they can draft players, because they understand the money. And that's going to kill a lot of teams, and that's going to help a lot of teams. So Howie has been definitely won me over the last 2 years. I will give him that. After he came out of the corner, after Chip Kelly threw him in the little corner down the boys' room at the NovaCare Center, and then allowed him to come back. And they fired Chip, and they allowed Howie to come back. I think he grew a set of balls a little bit, and Howie was like, all right, guess what? I'm here now. And I'm going to show everybody I'm just not the guy who used to get beat up for his lunch money. You know what I mean? So
I have a great question if we got time. Yo, I seen on Twitter, and I'm on Twitter a lot. But
no.
Twitter posted, some guy posted this question, and I argued with people for like 5 days. What's your Mount Rushmore? 4 guys that have to go on there for the Eagles. And one person that everybody named first, and I said, hell no, in my mind. But go ahead. What do you think real quick?
Well, I think and you're going to put me on spot. We didn't prepare for this, right? But
I know.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. I love this stuff. So Dolk is 100% number one.
Ding,
okay.
ding, ding, ding.
I mean, that's obvious, right? So, and I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the guy who put Kelsey on there, right? So
I'm good with that.
But I'm just saying I saw a lot of hate going on about that. Listen, for me, Mount Rushmore is you have to stand the test of time. Okay, you have to stand the test of time. So no disrespect but when I hear people say Jerome Brown, I say hold on, he didn't play long enough, man.
Right.
So obviously it's got to be the Minister of Defense. It's got to be on there.
Ding,
okay,
ding, ding, ding.
Reggie White's got to be on there. But here's the thing, Al. Then it gets really, really interesting in my mind because there's a lot of players that now you have to think about. Now, when you say you only got 2 more, actually got 3 more, right? You got 3 more. Al Rushmore's 5, right?
Well, I was doing 4. I was doing 4.
Mount Rushmore 4. Okay. So, why am I doing? Yeah. So you got to really look, and Trevor is going to go. I got to throw this up there. Trevor's going to go, and Trevor, I just lost all respect for you, cuz. Okay, Nick Foles is not in Mount Rushmore.
Thank you. That's what I was arguing with people for. They killed me on Twitter about that. I'm not putting Nick Foles on there. Stop. I'm not.
Listen, maybe we're talking about the wrong Mount Rushmore. Maybe we're talking about like the porn star Mount Rushmore for BDN, but we're not talking about the football player. Okay,
thank you.
I'm getting. And listen,
they're just saying that because he won us the Super Bowl. It's got to be more than that, dude. You got my list. Oh no, you didn't finish. So go ahead. You got 2 more.
So here's where it's going to get different. Okay, because you got to have a quarterback on there, and again, I got to go with 5. And I know it's going to be the Randall versus 5 effect. I get it, but I got to go with 5. Okay. But then I think it gets really interesting because that last guy can be a lot of different players. For me, personally, it's the Axeman. And I don't care what anybody says. For me,
I haven't heard that name. Okay.
It's Jeremiah Trotter. Okay. And let's just throw this out there on why. Okay. This is a guy from Stephen F. Austin University. We all remember. Okay. He was the leader of that defense. And then he goes for some money. They let him go to Washington. Then he comes back true to form again and still is dominant. So again, I know a lot of people, you can't give me T.O. They don't stand the test of time.
Not even that close.
Right? You can't even, right? But I mean, there could be an argument. For David Akers. Just throwing it out there. There could be. I'm just telling you.
I can't put a kicker on there.
I'm just saying he won us a lot of damn ball games. Yeah. Okay, and he was a pretty formidable force for a very long time. But I can't go Bobby Taylor. I can't go Troy Vincent. Right? I can't go. I know guys.
The obvious one though.
Maybe it's B West. Okay, I like
close.
But and maybe people want to talk about Shady.
Bing, 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 bing. That's
not
one
for me,
of mine,
though, man. Not for me. Not for me.
You know why though?
Why is that?
My list is easy. Reggie White, obviously. Doc, easy, obviously. And then because of what he is and what he has meant to us with the Super Bowl, without the Super Bowl, down years, up years, Kelsey and Shady. Now, if you use all of those names are in the Hall of Fame and going to be in the Hall of Fame. Shady's going to make the Hall of Fame. I don't know how long it's going to take him. And Kelsey 100% is going to make the Hall of Fame. And Reggie White is already in there, and B. Doc is already in there. That's greatness when we recognize them and then the world recognizes them as well. I think that's greatness. You know, sometimes we're going to recognize a player because he played for us. That's why the Phillies got a lot of Hall of Famers in their hall. It doesn't mean that the rest of the world thought they were great, but they were great for the team. So that's why I said that.
Everyone wants to know what Hall of Fame, Eagles or pro football.
What you said?
Trevor wants to know what Hall of Fame we talk about, the Eagles or the pro football?
No, the Hall of Fame. Reggie White is in the Hall of Fame. B-Doc is in the Hall of Fame. You don't think Kelsey is good enough to be at the top of his craft that he's going to get in the Hall of Fame? And check the stats. Shady is going to be in the Hall of Fame. 100%. It may not be on the first ballot or second ballot, but he's going to get in.
But I think I think as much as I love Kelsey, and again, who would have thought?
I mean, right? But D-Mac, I wouldn't be that bad if you said D-Mac.
But I think you could have two tiers here. I do. I think you have another tier because another guy you really got to think about putting on there, and people may not agree with this, is Deshaun Jackson. Now, you know, you really got to think about putting him on.
He's going in sometime. It might be a long time, but he's getting in. He did a lot of stuff, dude. Yardage, touchdown records. Right. Oh, yeah.
Miracle to Meadowlands, man.
Yeah, and he's right behind me, and I forgot about him. I forgot about DJ. Yes. Yeah. You could put DJ.
DJ's got to be talked about. But, yeah, listen, all I can say is get back to where we were at. The Eagles have a really clean look this year. I'm excited. We're about 60 days away. Yeah, it's going to be – you know what, Alan, it's going to be great is if Bryce Harper returns before Labor Day and then football opens up the following weekend. And, man, I'll tell you. But here's the thing. We what we got to do when we talk about that is we still got some basketball. And we got the Sixers. And there's all these rumblings, what's going to go on and what's going to happen. But Al's going to talk about today on the 2-minute warning. He talks about how these next 2 to 3 years could signify, or this offseason can signify this next 2 to 3 years.
This is the 2-minute warning with Al Griffin right here on Heat Ratio Sports.
All right, folks. I was thinking about this, and it's very important that we concentrate on this upcoming free agency and offseason. This is going to set us up for the next 2-3 years because whatever we do this year, I don't think we're going to be able to do anything different next year. So that's the way that's going to happen. I think everything that's going to be done is going to stay there and is going to carry from this year to next season. So now everybody in their grandma's report. I mean, everybody. I've never seen so many people report the same thing that we're going to get Tucker. I mean, I heard Keith Pompey said it's a lock. Like, I've never heard people just, what do you mean? How is it a lock? It's not a lock, folks. A lot of things have to happen. It's not enough cap space right this second. Right this second, it can't happen unless he takes less money to come here. And we got about anywhere from 6 to 8 million, somewhere in that ballpark of cap space. He ain't taking that to come to Philly. Why would he do that? I think he's going back to Miami, myself personally. I have no idea why everybody just swears that that's going to happen. But hey, if it happens, it happens. But I just can't see him just ignoring all the other stuff for the reasons why he should go back to Miami and come to Philly. Why would he do that? What, because he likes the weather? Like, it makes no sense. So it has to be the money is the only reason why he would come here over staying in Miami. All right. Melton, stop. I don't know. That started on the internet as soon as the trade happened. If you're not watching, if you just watch the Sixers, say you just watch the Sixers. If you don't watch the rest of the NBA, say you don't watch the rest of the NBA. This kid can play. This kid can play, and he's young. He's 24 years old. Imagine him and Thibault on the court at the same time, harassing people. He has great length with his arms. He tips a lot of balls like Thibault does. His steals are very high. I think he's like 1.7. I think he was like 1.7, 1.8 this year in steals. He's great. He's very athletic. His shooting percentage shooting percentage has went up. His scoring averages went up. He's going to be a player. Philly is going to love this kid. Philly is going to love this kid. All right. Now, the next part of it is, does Harris stay? If this Harris is going to go, I think it's going to be this offseason. I don't think you can wait till next season and then trade him. You got to do it now or maybe at the trade deadline. So that's why I'm saying what's going to happen now is going to set us up. Can Thibault improve? And is he even going to be here? I mean, it was, everybody was saying he was going at the draft. I mean, people were literally saying goodbye to Thibault at the draft. So what are all of these? We still need shooting and we still need rebounding. But how is Morey going to mold this team to get it to where he wants it, and that's going to win? But I think everything between now and today is Tuesday. We got a couple more days before free agency start. And from that to, I would probably say, the end of July, because that's when all of the stuff is going to end, is going to be make or break. Whether we're going to have trades or we're not going to have trades, and we're going to stay pat. Harden isn't going anywhere. It's just going to be exactly how is he going to opt in? Is he going to opt out? Is he going to take less? Is he not? I'm hearing rumors that he's going to take a two-year deal and then take less money so we can move some money around. I don't know. I don't know what that, but I do know he's not going anywhere. I wish people would stop saying that. I hear people on the radio saying, don't sign him, let him go. I hope he doesn't opt in. Then what? Want to play with Tobias? Tobias?
No.
Come on,
please.
I don't understand how you can even say that out of your mouth. What do you mean, let him go? You don't want him back. We're all in, folks, for the last time. He's all in. We got to sink or swim with him. It ain't like he could just walk away and we could go, oh, let's go get somebody else for $42 million. It doesn't work like that, folks. So next month, make or break. And that's going to be what this team is going to be. Because again, I don't think we're going to have anything as far as trades or anything next year. I think this is going to be it.
Yeah, man, I completely listen. This is going to be Morey's stamp on the team, right? I think, and again, Andre checking in. What's up, Trey? Talking about it's definitely not close to being a lock. He agrees as well. Tucker been in Philly 4 times during the season for business reasons, so let's not get too excited too soon. Also talks about Harris being gone, which I agree, which you said, Al, and Dre saying it as well. Sixers are still trying to supplement the scoring. Harris is still 18 and 19 point career scorer. If they have a package that can handle his contract, Harris is in an Uber, probably the same Uber that I was driving Danny Green on out of there, right? Hey, but nah. In all seriousness, don't you think that Morey wants Harris gone? Yes, he does. Not because he doesn't like Tobias Harris. He wants to be rid of that contract. Okay, and all these.
But you have to do it the right way. You have to do it the right way. You can't 100%. Just ship them just to ship them, because it got to be the right pieces that you're getting back to be able to fit everything.
But you have to understand, Al, which I know you do, and a lot of other people have to understand, is, you know, the NBA is a business. It's about money, right? It's not about talent. Right? So it's about money, where you have to find somebody that's willing to take $40+ million a year for Tobias Harris, which means you're going to get garbage back, but then you have to turn, not the, no pun intended, turn garbage into gold, like our man Mark Zumoff, right? But no, in all seriousness, you got to turn garbage into gold, and you got to be able to flip that for something that can actually help this team. So it's not going to be like, hey, we're going to trade Tobias Harris and get Damian Lillard. No,
right. It don't work like that. No.
Right, you're going to get back Andrew Bogut. Okay, that's basically what you're going to get, and then you're going to have to flip somebody. Like, I'm just again, he's not in the NBA anymore, but still, that's the kind of player that you're probably going to get. It's just that, and then you're going to have to be able to flip that money to get like Dre's saying, replace him with an athletic 3 or 4 is the best move, 100%. So
it's got to be that move. And then you have your next move already set. So you make that, and then you flip that, and then you already know what you're going to do, and that's already set. But it's not going to be off of that move. It's going to probably have to be off of another move that you make. That doesn't involve Maxey, by the way, people. Please stop talking about trading Maxey. Stop.
Listen.
Stop. And if I see one more thing, and if I see one more person talk about posting KD in a Sixer uniform, stop with all of that madness. What is going on the internet?
Well, listen, it's because you just said it's the internet, right?
Jesus,
it's the internet. But I'm not gonna not gonna get into this because we got one more segment to go, and then we're gonna get out of here. But I would trade Tyrese Maxey. And I would trade him for the right package. Just throwing it out there. But we'll get into that another day. Okay? We wait. Listen, again, I'll say it before. I said it before, and I'll say it again. We have 2 to 3 years to win with Joel Embiid. And if we don't win this year, I'm telling you right now, if they could do whatever they do, Al, mark my words and play this episode back. Okay? I don't care how many moves they make. If we're out in the second round, Joel Embiid is the next Kyrie Irving. He's the next James Harden. He's walking in the office and he wants out. I'm letting you know that right now.
He's not that type of guy.
Listen. I am telling you.
Frustrated, and he might curse somebody out. He might say it at a press conference like enough is enough, banging on the table. I can see him doing something like that, but I can't see him being that type of guy.
That was this year, man. You got to understand the way this guy operates, right? He has given it his all. 2 years in a row, playing injured, playing hurt. Okay, he watched a lackadaisical effort for so many different players on that team. And he's going to say in his mind, I'm tired, man. I only got a couple of years left. I need to win. And the other thing is what we talked about last week is what if you can't win with the big man? Just throwing it out there. So a lot of different things that we need to talk about. We got a lot of time to talk about that. Right? But what I want to talk about, okay, is a last match. Okay, that's what I want to talk about. So if anybody doesn't know, or now you are going to know, right? The Nature Boy, Ric Flair himself, is going to have his last match, right? He's going to have his last match. And I'll tell you what, Al, I'm excited. I am. I'm really excited because we're going to get into this about, is he a GOAT? And I have to say that because again, he is he's a guy I grew up with. He's a guy I watched. He's a guy I watched evolve. But let's just get into it. Ric Flair, man, we're going to roll.
This is the 2-minute warning with Al Griffin right here on Heat Ratio Sports.
It's not the 2-minute warning. I don't know what's going on here. It's not going. Oh, here we go.
It is now time for the final judgment with Tony Jigsaw Cutillo, brought to you by Heat Ratio Sports.
That's a mouthful, isn't it, Tony?
So, again, you heard the man, right? You listen. You heard the man, right? Here you go.
Bottom line is, whether you like it or don't like it, learn to love it because it's the best thing going today.
Yes.
So, my man's 70 plus years old, still styling, still profiling. Going to have his last match for Crockett Productions. If anybody knows the art of wrestling, it started with the NWA, and that's where Ric Flair and Harley Race had their unbelievable battles. That's when Ric Flair really started to get catapult into, obviously, the man he is today. His promos were second to none. The Four Horsemen that he was the leader of, Charlotte, North Carolina. It's funny. I was in a barbershop and I was talking to a guy. We were sitting there talking about wrestling, and he said he was from Charlotte. And I said, the first thing I think about is Charlotte. Whenever somebody says Charlotte, I think it's Flair country. It's horseman country. Sir. Right? Right, because that's what we grew up with. And listen, this is such an unprecedented event. And I don't think it's going to get its just due. I don't, because a lot of people are going to laugh it off. A lot of people still think of wrestling as sports entertainment. I'm one of those guys who don't. It is a professional athletic sport that these guys have to work at the like in nauseum consistently every single day. Ric Flair is taking bumps. He's practicing how to bleed. He's practicing how to get hurt. We still don't know who his opponent's going to be on July 31st, but man, it is going to be something to witness. Now, obviously, his last match came with the hands of Shawn Michaels, a Heartbreak Kid, who in his own right is one of the greatest of all time. But now, we just talked about Mount Rushmore, and and I go back. My man Rich checking in says, "Take a few of those bumps." Exactly, Rich. Take a few of those bumps and see how. I say that all the time. I'm so glad he checked in with that, because
that's true.
That's a thing, right? I mean, people think that that's like a memory foam mattress out there these guys are falling on. Man, that shit hurts. Okay,
it hurts. Let me slam you, and let me see if you get up. Actually, you can get up after I slam you. How about that?
Exactly. And let's just, before I talk about the GOAT, let's remember something too. Ric Flair, without Ric Flair, there is no John Cena. Without Ric Flair, there is no Rock. And the reason why I say that, without Ric Flair, there is no Miz. And I say the Miz because I don't think he gets enough credit for the promos that he can do. Ric Flair started the microphone as a constant piece of professional wrestling. That's why they had promo coaches, because of Ric Flair. Because of Ric Flair, with the leather skin boots and talking about the Brooks Brothers suit and the glasses and Rolex, the rings,
watches, diamond ring wearing.
Yes, exactly. My man Doug, Doug checking it, says, "Hey, I'm from North Carolina." That's right. Doug's in horseman country right there. He's in Flair country now. What's up, Doug? I hope retirement is treating you all so well. Jose checking it, says, "What do you think about Cena coming back?" I'll get to that in a second, because I do have a lot of respect for John Cena, and I do not agree with the way he was brought back last night. But I look at Al as, as Ric Flair being the undoubted greatest of all time. And I understand that a lot of people are going to hit you with the old school Bruno Sammartino, and I get all that. But again, stand the test of time. Go from one organization to the next. And every time you go, you're the leader of that organization. And not only that, what's not talked about enough is Ric Flair taking bumps for younger generations, right? He was taking drops for younger generations. He was actually learning or teaching these youngsters how to win. And he was taking falls for these guys just so the business would be in a good spot. Yeah, listen, I get it. He's been married 100 times and he, alcohol. I get it. It's okay. I don't care about that. What I care about is I'm a 100% diehard wrestling fan. Always will be, always was. And Ric Flair is undoubtedly the GOAT because of the way he carried himself in the ring and within each promotion, whether it be Gordon Soley, whether it be with David Crockett, whether it be when he was in TNA, whether it be with Vince McMahon, going back and forth with Vince McMahon, right? He went through a lot of stuff. He went through a lot of adversity. Again, with guys like Eric Bischoff. Okay, you remember this? I'm back. So, right? Eric Bischoff. Listen, there was a infamous promo of Ric Flair in a tuxedo when they brought him back, and go back and watch that, man. And that was legit. That was real. That wasn't fake. That was Rick going one-on-one against Eric Bischoff, who he could not stand, and to this day they hate each other. Okay, that was the nasty side of the business. But Ric Flair, last match, final judgment, is the GOAT. Now let me get to this before we get out of here. A lot of people asking about Cena. John Cena, again, another guy who doesn't get the respect that he deserves. A lot of people don't understand that John Cena did not want to break the streak of Ric Flair, right? People, I don't think people realize that, right? John Cena is a very humbled guy. And there's I forget what WrestleMania it was, but he was in the ring with Shawn Michaels. It actually was on Raw. Sorry, it was on Raw. And it was the first time that Hulk Hogan came back. And again, you can Google this. Google this on YouTube. Hulk Hogan came back to WWE. When that music hit, John Cena fell to his knees and started to cry in the middle of the wrestling ring. That's not an act. That's John Cena saying, I love this business. I grew up on this business, and that was my idol. And now I'm going to get to share a ring with that guy. Right. So that's why I have so much respect for John Cena, because he did exactly what Ric Flair did. He was able to put guys over. He was able, listen, Al, you'll remember this. That's what I'm going to say, because I could talk about this all night. But everybody said Roman Reigns would never be able to cut a promo. John Cena told Roman Reigns he couldn't cut a promo. And if you go back about 5 years ago,
I remember.
You remember?
Yeah, I remember him.
Right?
Yeah.
That was one of the best promos I ever seen, when he basically laid in the reins, said exactly what everybody else knew.
On live TV.
On live TV. And right now, Roman Reigns is the best thing going today. Why? Because he had guys like Cena trying to push him to the next level. So the other guy that does get talked about in this business is Paul Heyman, who is an absolute mastermind. Anything he touches turns into gold. Okay, he doesn't get enough respect because of a lot of things that have happened as well. But just to go back full circle here, Ric Flair is the GOAT. Rick says Cena understood that. Yes, he understood the history and the respect 100%. And he put, you're right. He put Kevin Owens over as well. I love it. And Paul Heyman, 100% genius. 100%. I completely agree. Whoever he is in the corner of, they just go to the next level. Now, again, that's a final judgment for me. That's Ric Flair. We'll have more on this because it's July 31st, and I'll be excited. We'll talk about when he has the opponents. Rich second with ECW. But real fast, we got got a couple minutes left, and I didn't get to my Jigsaw Chronicle here, and I got to bring this up because this is going to be line chasers everywhere. So you guys know by now, I just make this a series because everything just bothers me. But right, Al knows that. Al knows that. But you've all been in a situation before, whether we're in a supermarket, whether we're in a fast food joint, restaurant. You always know when you pull up at the same time as somebody else and they want to race you to the door, right? So let me throw this out there, okay? I want to throw this out there. This 100%.
Jabroni,
he literally, right? I pull up to a Mission Barbecue the other day. Now, it's Mission Barbecue. So not much on the menu. You know it's a Mission Barbecue. So I pull up. I get out of my car. So this cat pulls up at the same time, looks at me, a little stare off going. I'm just like, whatever. He starts doing that quick walk, like the Flintstones when they're driving their car, right? Like all of a sudden, so I'm like, all right, bro, you must have more important things to do than I do to get your food. I'm gonna just let you go. I'm gonna let you roll with it, right? So here's the line chase of violation here, though, Al. So I get in there. Now, number one, it's empty because it's like 5 o'clock. So I've learned my window for Mission Barbecue is 5 to 5:30 before it starts getting crazy. So I get in there. He's in front of me. So you know what this cat does? He races me to the door. Now, at least have your order game on point.
Run, or like speed walk.
No, I'm talking like extra fast speed walk here. Okay. But extra fast speed walk. But here's what I will say. have your order game on point.
Sure.
If you're going to do that, have the order game on point. What's this cat do? I walk in. Now he goes, yeah, I'm really not sure what I want. And he's sitting there looking at the menu. So I finally say, yo, cuz, you just ran in here to beat me.
You had to say that.
Know? Right.
Tony, you had to say that.
I had to.
Dude, you had to call him out. Dude, you literally ran in front of me, and now you doing all of this. You have to say that, or it just gonna keep going on.
Listen, if I'm running like that, and I'm throwing myself out there, I'm going in.
Hey,
I'm going to that pulled chicken XL. Right. Give me the unsweetened iced tea, and I'll name Tony. Right. Here's the car ready to roll. Now this cat wants to read calories. He wants to read menus. Like, come on, man. Like, what is this? This ain't LA Fitness. It's Mission freaking Barbecue. You ran in there to get it. You stayed in line. Like, now come on, man. Like, at the end of the day, that's my
proud of you. This time I'm proud of you, Tony.
Right. But it always happens to me, Al. It always happens to me.
Yeah, like, but my wife would have told me I'm wrong and don't say nothing. But you have to. When somebody does all of that, you have to.
Hey, you know what? The girl at the counter was looking at me. She knew, and I'm looking like what's? I'm like, what's with this guy? It's fine. I was like, yo, can I just order for you? Like, I'll order for you, man. I'll actually pay if you hurry up. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Right? So I got the dirty look, death stare, right? You know, I'm like, maybe I should just shut up because you never know what's on his mind right now.
Yeah.
But
unfortunately, these days, you gotta watch out for that. But you were 100% right. So how much longer did it take him to finish?
So fine, like he gave me the attitude, and then finally he like ordered, like he did one of those. Yeah, just give me the chicken sandwich. Like it was all like,
basically blaming it on you to rush.
Yeah. So now when you get home and you got the wrong food, it's all fault. Right? Like, come on, man. Like, whatever. Unbelievable. Let's see you fast getting out to listen. I am a very animated individual, Adam. So please just don't piss me off. That's all I ask. Just don't piss me off, and we're good. But listen, man, we're getting out of here as always. 56 minutes. We said we're gonna go a half hour. We went an hour. Had some good times. So shout out to Dan. Hopefully he's okay. Little issues at home, but he'll be okay. He'll be back with us next week. Shout out to Art History 101. By the way, as you know, for real.
I was going to ask you about that.
No, man, look at this thing, man. This is legit. So,
nice.
arthistory101.com, man. Check him out. The dude has some phenomenal gear. He's a Philly guy. He's got a shop for 7300 Frankfurt Avenue. Listen. It's all about supporting small business and guys that really right, and they just grinding, man. So before you want to go, and get a shirt at Dick's or one of those popular chains, go check out the small guy at a small business, man. You're going to get better quality and you're going to get some very, very unique gear. Rick, checking in what was the Chronicle? Rick, it was Line Chasers, man. It was you got to go back and listen to it. It was Line Chasers that got to beat me in a Mission Barbecue and couldn't even formulate a goddamn order within 5 minutes. But he had to race me in there like he was driving Fred Flintstone's car in Bedrock. You know what I mean? But as always, give us a follow at Heat Ratio Sports. Make sure that you're following us on all social formats. Make sure you're following us on YouTube as well. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple, iTunes, wherever you can. Yeah, Rich, his shirts are. Jay is the man. His shirts are fire for real. But as always, everybody have a great week. We'll be back here Tuesday night. Make sure you're catching us throughout the week, whether it be quick takes with Dan Green. Al, once we get his mic situated, we'll get him on the 2-minute warning. You'll see some final judges and stuff. We'll start talking some football, man. We're getting some fancy stuff going on. Make sure you're checking me out over at Wendell Sports on the boys over there as well. If you're into sports betting, you're in a DFS, man. That's where you want to go. Trust me. Another guy the other day hit for $1,800 in a DFS tournament.
Very nice.
Check them out, man. They know their stuff. They taught me a lot. I know some things, but some of them guys are on another level. So, and as always, Sunday night on Sirius from 9 to 11, talking all things fantasy football. But for Al, for Tony, everybody, have a fantastic week. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll catch you back next time.